Alright, I'm just laying out critical dimensions based from this line here. So what I did, listen carefully, I made a baseline and it's the floor in my lad's room. And it's called FFL, Finished Floor Level. I did a triangle and it's that there. This is a story pole, story stick. They've got all sorts of names. And you make these for whatever you want. As long as you've got that reference and another thing that you want to call a reference, you can make this half a mile long. Yeah, you can draw something up to half a mile or 2 miles or whatever. It's up to you. Yeah, because all you do is you repeat. You take your dimension that you took, your datum line, and then you just draw whatever you want in between. As long as you do that, you can always draw whatever sizes you want. If your stick isn't long enough to do whatever it is, you can draw the other bit on the back. And it's plus or minus, the thickness of your pencil or whatever it is that you used. So what you need to do these is fine liner pens, and these are cheap and you can get them for nothing. You can get some fanboy stuff, Staedtler, and they're expensive, right? And I'm colourblind, so I can't really tell what colour it is. All I want is a fine line. I just want to draw a fine line. So what I did, I went over as far as possible where I can still draw. I measured from there, just there. I just measured from here to there, and I got, I'm going to do it that long, okay? So then I took that dimension, I took it from there to there. Can you see the tick mark? And I did the same dimension from there to there. You can see the tick mark. And then I got a ruler, and I stuck it between, and I drew it, okay? And I drew that. Now that is my datum. It's my finished. This is my finished floor level. It's what that sits on. Right, so the story pole, I took important items off his room. The ones I took is his finished floor level and the top of the cap on his pipe box. That's there. And I don't know what that number is, okay? It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. As long as I put the FFL there and I draw a line there, that's his cap. That's a limit to what it can't go past. Off his wall from the bottom, I got a dimension here. And I put, what did I put? Scribbly, 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 it says top of table, and I made a mark. Then that one, it says top underside of the socket, so it's got some sockets, right? And then I drew that line there, and it says top of PlayStation 5 only when it's sat on the table. But if it's sat on a Lazy Susan, something to help it rotate, it depends on what Lazy Susan you buy, where that number is. So if you buy a Lazy Susan that's got all its mechanism in 20 mil, you're going to lift this by 20 mil because you're going to have to check it. So this number is a floating number. That number is an immutable number. You cannot change it. This number is an immutable number. It cannot be changed. Right? You're getting critical numbers here. That number is the most immutable number. There's a box in the way and you can't move that number, okay? And this one that's the main datum. Everything comes off that one. So looking at that story pole, that's what you've got. And I've drawn some lines on here. Yeah, you just see them there. Look, they're not being drawn from here now. They're being drawn from here because I'm working that way from the floor. And the first line is the height of the caster. Where are you, Mr. Caster? Here's Mr. Caster. This is a physical item. Immutable. You cannot change it, right? So if I put that on there, on the bottom on the finished floor level, and I put there, look, you see it, that line, top of it, it can't go any further. It will not go any further. Now we're looking at the side. Put some light on this subject. So we're looking at the side view where I'm falling over because the back of my heels tripping on stuff. Finished floor level and top of caster. That's what you have just drawn. Then I've got a piece of wood. That's a strong backer for the caster to stop it pushing up through there, yeah? There's going to be a lot of mass concentrated on a very, very small area. Now, this piece of wood is a theoretical piece of wood, and I've set a limit of 20 mil on it. Plus or minus 1 mil on it, yeah? Everything that you change pushes this section of this up and down. You can juggle it up and down depending on what your pieces of wood is. So the toe kick dimension, the height from the floor, including the caster, this box, and the torsion box, is 150. So that is the toe kick height. I've said I can't go plus or minus 2 mil in there, right? And then I've got this box. I've got this sheet here, this piece, 20mm. That's a physical thing, it's here. It's a piece of this wood that I'm going to make, but I'm not going to shave it down. And that's about 20mm. I'm not going to plane this, and I'm not going to plane the back. I'm just going to leave it as it is and build something off it. So that dimension is whatever it works out to be. I'll take a thickness out of it. I've got some stuff to do with it. Right, so the critical points on here are the finished floor level, the bottom of that plate, and this cap level, wherever it is. Top of the pipe cap. Okay, they're the critical levels, and the top of the pipe cap is that dimension there. So I'm not going to take it off this drawing, because I could have made, in my madness at 11 o'clock in the evening, I could have made that number wrong, 310. It might not be 310. I'm ignoring everything on here now, completely. Because the next critical thing, right, from that floor level, the only critical thing is this 1 metre. And I can't draw 1 metre on there, can I? So I have to ignore that. Yeah, I can't draw 1 metre, but I will draw it in. I haven't got 1 metre to go from there to there. I can stick a piece of paper on here and carry on working. I can. It doesn't matter, but I'm not going to do that because it's not important. All that's important is it's drawn on here, and then I work back this way. All these things are critical. These things are critical, so I work back from that way to there, and I can ignore that. I'm not going to go down there. I can forget about it. Right, but the important things that I do have is this is a dimension of I don't know what it is. All I did is he give me his biggest PlayStation 5 DVD. Give me biggest one, not the little one. There's a little one as well. The biggest one, because that's the critical one. And I drew it. He held it, and I drew round it. So I've got everything based off the edge there. I know what size that is. Nothing else matters. All I need to know is what that is, and then I'll adjust his draw for that, and this won't change because his DVDs are sticking up here. The only dimension that I need there is this one. I need to find out where from the front that box is going to go for it to sit, whichever way it's going to sit. I haven't determined it. It's stuff that's up in the air. So the critical thing is this. I cannot change that. And the other critical thing is the back, the wall, where the wall is, because everything's coming from the wall and coming away. That is the wall. This thing's resting against the back of the wall, and the pipe box is going to create this dog leg. And you're going to see me create the dog leg on there. I'm going to draw that a line. I'm going to measure from there to here, right, wherever it is, and I'm going to draw a line right the way up, because I'm going to take that measurement and put it on that side, and that's going to be the wall. It can't go. I can't go past this one, and I can't go past that wall. Once they're in, the limits are set on the drawing. Everything will work that way towards the front of the drawing, and everything will work this way towards the top of the drawing. And when you stand it up, that'll be it. That'll be the thing. Then I can cut a cardboard template off that. Go upstairs and test it before I do anything else. Go up and test it to make sure it fits inside the capping box. Okay? There's dimensions on here, all sorts of stuff. It says, this is to me, do not use it for any, they also call yardstick. I've actually wrote yardstick on there, yeah. And the rest of the dimensions are on here. So, top of the PlayStation, and then where the top of the TV is that line. And the critical thing is, that TV is above his head. That's where his head is. Top of his head is there, and this is that gap between the top of his head and the underside of the TV. So if he jumps or he goes up on his feet, or if he wears bigger fat shoes, he'll whack his head on the TV as he's going past. All right, so that's what that is. And I can't change that dimension, the top of his TV dimension. It's unchangeable, it's immutable, because it'll hit the ceiling with it, it'll hit his tube light or whatever, okay? So immutable means that I'm not going to be able to change it, okay? I'm going to draw this baseline in now. I'm going to draw that one. And then here, where it crosses, I'm going to put the datum symbol. You'll see me draw the datum symbol. That means everything comes from here, generates from there, okay? I'll draw that up. So I'm just doing the drawing, and I'll build it up, and you'll be able to see it.